Well, yeehaw everybody. Welcome back to Okies Eden here in southern Oklahoma. In a minute I'm going to show you what we're getting into today. I got some weed trimming to do, and I have some potato harvesting to do, and hopefully that come out okay. And I have to reroute some of my potato vines. So let's see what we're going to get into. Here we go. All right, so I do have potatoes grown down in here. I grew them when I first planted these pumpkins over here. These pumpkins have since run all over there, all over here, all over there. So what I have to do is I have to come in, I'll grab these vines, I'll gently move them to the side, then I can get in here and weed trim. And then I can undo some of the fencing here and here to get to the potatoes, and then I can weed trim in there and pull all the weeds. I'll harvest whatever I have for potatoes. I have no idea. I haven't taken care of them. I throw some water on them, and that's all I've done. I just threw a bunch of potatoes in the dirt and covered them. And then we'll come in here and I'll see about getting this somehow. Look at the size of this pumpkin. This is on the fence. This is growing on the fence. This thing is probably a foot in diameter. I'm trying to get a better picture of it here, right there. There it is right there. That is hooked to the fence. So I'm gonna get in here, I'll get all this weeded, get these potatoes in here harvested. That'll neaten this whole area up, because then I can start prepping this area for my third trellis. And then, because that third trellis, is gonna line up with that trellis, so on and so forth. So let's get busy. Let's get these things moved. Let's get the weed trimming done, harvest the potatoes, and let's get going. Okay, so here's what we're working on. I have gently moved all of the vines, runners, this way. I have pulled some weeds and weed trimmed there. I have pulled weeds here and weed trimmed there. Now what I'll do is I'm going to unhook the fencing from these posts here, harvest the potatoes, weed, reattach the fence. So stick around, we're doing that shortly. Now I have weeded in here, extracted that pumpkin off of the fence. You can see where it had grown on the fence, and then put it next to its sibling. They're both really nice sized pumpkins. Okay everybody, so here is where we're at. Got my two pumpkins here. You can see I have weeded and I pruned and I have weed trimmed all of this. I removed all of these stalks because those stalks were not growing anything. They had nothing attached to them. They were just taking up energy from the mother that's feeding these pumpkins. So they leave and then they go back to the ground and become my compost. So I have a 10 by 10 section that's all going to be pumpkin vines and leaves that will give the earth, the soil, more nutrients back. All right, so let me give a quick shot of this before I show you something else. So there it is. You can see how thick that was from the live the other morning. And now it's got a big, huge bald spot there. Those long runners are gone. So this really emptied out a lot, because this plant's on its final days and that will become compost. But before I dig the potatoes up, which I'm going to show in this video, I got in here and I riled up the ants. So there are big red ants in there teeming around. So that's why I've kind of took a quick break. But now I'm going to stand on that pallet over there, and I'll put my spade fork in here. I'm going to roll this dirt in a minute, and we're going to see how we do as far as harvest. Okay, that should do it right there. Let me grab my spade fork. here we go. Let's see what we got here. I'll show you the amount here in a few minutes. Take those potato plants out. There's one there. Okay, let's see what's going on with that one. I hit that one with the fork, that's okay. I hit that one with the fork. Another little one here. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. There's the mother plant. That one. That's a really nice one. Don't know what's going on with that. It's a good little cooker. Oh boy. Here's another good one. I'm gonna say not too shabby for not, I didn't take care of this. I just threw a bunch of potatoes, like I said, in the ground. Oh, there's one. It's a decent one. Look at this whole thing. Oh boy. Oh boy. There's a little one. There's a little one. There's a weird shaped one. There's one. That's too small. Oh, here we go. Here we go, peeps. Not too bad. A lot of little ones, but they're gonna be okay. They cook up. They cook up just fine, everybody. And there we have it. End of the line for the taters for that batch. Okay. bring you over here. Let's see. There we have it. Probably, I'm gonna guess about 2 pounds there. They're all on the small side except for that one there is pretty decent. That ain't too bad. That ain't too bad, but probably 2 pounds. But like I said, I didn't take care of that. I just threw it there and then planted pumpkins next to it and decided to just come out and harvest them. So there you go. That's all cleaned up. Those potatoes are harvested. Got a bunch of compost off those leaves. Now onward and upward. Well, whoo doggy. Thank you for watching my garden maintenance and my potato harvest, albeit small. I just checked to end this video. It was a little over 2 pounds of potatoes, Yukon Golds. Just so everybody knows, I planted those the same time I planted the pumpkins next to it, and the pumpkins overran the plants. So I didn't expect much. I can't believe I got 2 pounds of really good potatoes out of that. But anyways, that soil was not composted. That was just the native soil. That was the new part of the garden before I increased the size again. So I just literally turned that soil 2 days before I planted those potatoes. That has no fertilizer. It had no compost or grass clippings or nothing. It was just plain old Oklahoma dirt that I just tossed some potatoes in that had sprouts, covered it, and then when I watered the pumpkin plants, I'd shoot a little water on the potatoes. Like I said, they got overrun. You couldn't even see the potato plants under the pumpkins, so they weren't getting any full sun. They were just getting choked out by the pumpkins. But I got 2 pounds that are gonna just do great as mashed potatoes or home fries, which is probably gonna be home fries. But thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Now the entire perimeter has been weeded and weed trimmed, so it's all cleaned up now. And now we're gonna go on to our next videos on sugar pumpkins. See you then.